Now this beer from this beer company, like Mill Street, was previously craft beer, but now has been bought out, or has been bought out, a long time ago, a little while ago, quite a while ago, by a big beer company. But still, they like to make something different every now and then. Let's get into it. Beer, 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 beer. Hello everybody, welcome back to me, Maple Brewski, for another Brewski review. And today the beer I have for you is by the Creemore Springs Brewery Limited. This is from their Mad and Noisey series. This is their Orange Pale Ale. Bam! Mad and Noisey, black, orange pale ale, coming in at 4.8% alcohol by volume. Any listed IBUs on the can? I don't see, which is weird because the original Creemore Springs does list IBUs. But Untapped is coming in to save the day, and no, not the website, because this isn't put on their website. Spoiler alert when we get to the website section. And sadly, Untapped is showing it that it does not have any IBUs listed. So we may take an educated guess while I'm drinking this particular brew. But Orange Pale Ale, bright and hoppy. That's all it says. I was going to read the French. I thought it was going to be more. But bright and hoppy. So let's crack this open and see what we got. I haven't had anything, I don't think, from the Mad and Noisey series, portion, conglomerate of Creemore Springs. But I'm down to try it. I mean, they used to have Hops and Bolts. I don't know what happened to that, or that became Mad and Noisey, because Hops and Bolts was by Creemore Springs. That was a really good beer. I don't know what happened to it. But looking at this beer, can you guess the color? I can't. Is it orange? Of course it's orange. It's an orange pale ale. But yes, very nice orange color. Orange tinge to the actual head as well. And again, quite a big head. I don't know if that's the glass. I haven't been pouring too aggressively on that one, but I like it. I like it a lot. Looks pretty. Fairly hazy. You can see kind of through it just lightly, but there is a good touch of haze in there. Let's have a smell. Hoppy, fruity hops. Big citrus. Almost like you just started to peel an orange. Lemon, grapefruit. Slight mango undertones. Maybe even slightly like caramel, or even just a touch malty. Let's have a sip. Not as hoppy as I thought it was going to be. Definitely more malt forward with a touch of hops. Just a light bit. You get the more hoppy, citrusy smell in the nose, but on the sip, definitely a bit more malt forward. Cheers, everybody. Let's keep drinking. Yeah. Caramel. Light orange. Slightly citrus. Somewhat earthy. Lightly floral. But yeah, more caramel malts. I mean, it goes down smooth, light on the tongue, light in the mouth. So far, pretty good. A little bit lackluster in flavor. I mean, you get the citrus, you get the maltiness from it, but they're there, and then they sort of dwindle and mix together, and it really just becomes nothingness, almost like white noise static. On your taste buds, if that makes any sense. Just a lot of carbonation bubbles and very light flavor indeed. It's not a terrible beer. It's not a bad beer by any means, flavor-wise. It's just that they're lacking. It's there, and then it's gone. It's very short and sweet. As far as flavors go, it's a bit boring, to be honest, but it's still, if you're looking for a beer where you want a bit more what I would call toned down flavors, this could be a good option for you. As for IBUs, it's It's not super bitter. I want to say it clocks in anywhere from 25 to 30 IBUs. It's a pale ale, but it's a lackluster pale ale. Let's look on the can, see what it has to say about itself. So, Mad and Noisey Orange Pale Ale. Notes of citrus, hoppy bitterness with a sweet, full-bodied taste of an ale. Brewed by the folks at Creemore Springs Brewery Limited. Short and sweet. Ingredients. No, just made in Creemore Springs, blah, blah, blah. Stored cold, blah, 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 blah. No description. I mean, no IBU, sorry. No IBU is one, and no ingredients, that's what I'm saying. Now, looking on the bottom for a brewed on date, FO818, June 8th, 2018. So it is a bit older, but still very, very delicious. I don't see anything going wrong with this beer when I'm drinking it. Like I said, it's a good beer. It's definitely a bit lackluster in flavor, but it's the flavors that are there are really, really good, and it goes down tremendously smooth, which is awesome. Moving over to the website now, creemoresprings.com. You come over and they have two sections. They have the Creemore Springs sections, which shows all the beers by, well, Creemore Springs. And then they have the Mad and Noisey section, which is a like sort of a what I would call like it's not their own brewery. It's a series in a sense, which what I would want to call it under a different name. But we are going to read the description of what Mad and Noisey is, because there is no separate description for the Orange Pale Ale, which is a bit of a bummer, because when I do click on the Mad and Noisey Lagered Ale, it has a bit more information between the background, more info of tasting notes, pairings, and the glassware you should use, to the IBUs. So I would really like to see the Orange Pale Ale up on your website, because this isn't the first time I've seen it in the LCBO. But without further ado, let's just read the description of the Mad and Noisey. So, off the beaten path, you'll find a tiny village of Creemore. It's here we converted a quaint hardware store into a world-class brewery some years ago, and began crafting time-honored beers. Fired brewed in small batches with water from a spring so fresh it became our namesake. Just outside the village, you'll find the Mad and Noisey rivers, each carving their own path through the lush rolling hills, forested valleys, and fertile farmland before finally meeting as one. Inspired by the meeting of our neighboring rivers, our brewers have brought together our what's that say? Sorry, the background is a little hard to read with the white lettering. Our brewers have brought together our dedication to heritage brewing techniques with their fresh stream of thinking. Now you can taste the result Now you can taste the result for yourself through our Mad and Noisey series of beer. Enjoy. They list their lagered ale and their India Pale Lager, but still no Orange Pale Ale. Bit of a bummer, but not the end of the world. I would just like to see it up there sooner rather than later. As for Untapped, it's not bad. Still a bit of melon flavor coming in through there once it warms up a little bit. Quite nice. Finally, like I said, moving over to Untapped now, Mad and Noisey Orange Pale Ale has been given a 3.32 bottle caps out of 5. And that's out of just over 1,200 ratings. Overall, it's a decent beer. It's not the worst. It's not the best. It has some good flavor. In my opinion, they are a bit lackluster. It doesn't really live up to that bright and hoppy note that they're putting on their can, that they're selling it as. But still, if you're looking for a beer that is slightly hoppy with a nice malt backbone, or a very strong malt backbone in this case, I think this would be great for you. It's definitely a good introduction to pale ales, as being a much lighter on the hoppy note, which is great. But if you're looking for a pale ale, you definitely want to stick to something else. With that said, I'm on my final sip, so let's down this and get right to ratings. Cheers on the final sip. Caramel sweetness, slightly citrus, a little bit of floraliness, nice melon flavor once it warms up, melony sweetness. It's not bad. It is lackluster if you're going at it as a pale ale. So with that said, because it is putting itself out as bright and hoppy, it's getting a 7 out of 10. But overall, it's still a damn good beer to enjoy if you're looking for something very, very slightly hoppy and a bit more malty. It's definitely right up your alley. As for presentation, I mean, I like it. I like the black. I like the orange. Pretty cool. It's nothing super, super outrageous, but there is, I don't know, it just looks busy at the same time. You know, it looks very, very busy. It says good things come in small batches. That's for damn sure. It's just a busy looking can almost. And that's sort of what kind of turns me off about it. I mean, it does have a brewed on date, which is perfect. It does have a description, but no ingredients, no IBUs. Kind of a bummer, but still, it ain't too bad. As for the website, that is non-existent because it is not on the website, but looking at the example from the lager ale is that there's a lot of information on the style. It has the IBUs, and it has tasting notes, pairings, and the type of glassware you should use. So basing what the website can offer, if this was on the website, is great. With that said, presentation-wise, I was going to give it a 6.5 based off the can because I'm not a big fan of it. It is very busy. It looks kind of mixed-matched in plates with all the information. But because the website can have such good information, I gotta bump that up to a 7 out of 10. But hopefully gets on the website because I want to see all this information about the beer. With all that said, guys, if you have any comments, questions, or beers on review in the future, you can leave all the information down in the comment box below. If you want to go ahead and like this video or subscribe to me, Maperuski, that'd be greatly appreciated as well. And that's going to do it for me, Maperuski. And like I always say, crack your brain and enjoy. Cheers.